So this morning I was looking through some old pictures with my boyfriend, and we found this breathtaking picture which he took when he was on a hike, and I immediately thought that I wanted to use this as a reference picture. It's a picture taken somewhere in Norway, but I don't remember what the place is called. But speaking of Norway, last year I hiked for the first time in that country. And by hiking, I don't mean a day hike. We went on a 4-day hike around a glacier called Hardangerjökull, and it was one of the most amazing experiences in my life. No matter where you went or where you looked, everything looked like it was taken straight out of a landscape painting or from like Heidi. Mundane things like brushing your teeth became so grand when I had a freaking glacier on the back and the most beautiful sunset in front of me. So painting this brings me back to that hike. I can't wait to experience something like that again. I'm not very used to painting landscapes, since it's something that I've always found daunting, because I think it never turns out pretty like the original picture or the landscape I see before my eyes. I feel like the process of landscapes is like 80% ugly, like 80% ugly face, and if you don't give up and keep painting the remaining 20%, that's where you get the beautiful end product, so you need to persevere. I think I've always given up during landscape paintings because of the frustration I get from it not looking good immediately. But today I decided to follow through no matter how I felt or how it looked. Looking at the reference picture, the colors are really pretty, but the contrast is quite low. I knew that in my painting I wanted to alter that a little bit, so I wanted to heighten the contrast. So in order to do that, I added more black into the mixture for the shadows. But as I painted the darker parts with more black, everything just looked too muddled. And gradually the painting became darker and darker, which I didn't like too much. I soon realized that in order to make the shadows look darker, I also needed to make the highlights look brighter, which is not possible with watercolor since the properties of the paint is very translucent, so I couldn't add white onto the highlights. I think with other medium it's possible to alter the brighter parts, like putting white paint or brighter paints on top, but with watercolors it's just not possible because of the translucency. But if I had more opaque paint such as acrylic or gouache, I think I would have done that. But for this one I didn't want to mix any medium, so I just stuck with the watercolors. Next time when I paint with watercolors again, for landscapes especially, I think I would be more attentive to working from light to dark and not the other way around. That would help me as a beginner to landscape paintings for watercolors. I think that is the biggest challenge with watercolors. By that I mean that you can't change what you have already put on the paper. If you put a color or a brush stroke, you will see it throughout the whole drawing, even if you try to cover it up with another brush stroke. But once you have mastered that, I think it will give you a wonderful result at the end because of the properties of the watercolors, of the paint. It will give you a very delicate look where you can see all the brushstroke that the artists have made and all the layers building up to the final painting. But in the end, I'm just happy that I didn't give up midway, even though I started to question my color choices or my brush strokes and whatnot. By not giving up midway, I learned a lot of things during the process, and that's the most important thing. I want to challenge myself to do more watercolors and even other kind of medium. Like the other day I tried gouache, maybe I want to do more acrylics too. I just want to try a ton of new things and learn. I'm in a phase where I'm not afraid to make mistakes and I'm just eager to learn more. And I think that has to do with the fact that I'm teaching kids all day. And I try to teach them that it's okay, or rather, I want you to make mistakes because that's where learning happens. And by telling kids that every day, I think that I have embodied that mindset myself. So I just want to learn more.